Premium sets in Sword and Shield are on the move. The sleeping giant is finally awakening. What is going on, guys? Poketism here, back with another market update video. If you like the content, consider dropping a like, maybe even a comment saying SpaghettiOs, and a subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And for our based and beta comments of the day, our base comment is going to go to Justin, who says SpaghettiOs. Thank you very much. Spaghettio time. Woohoo! And for our beta comment of the day, we have Poke Strategy that says, okay, so you're telling me I should focus all in on Shrouded Fable, Perfect Order, and Stellar Crown. Got it. Man, some of you guys are just coming up with great beta comments, and I really appreciate it. Thank you both to Justin and Poke Strategy for your comments, and make sure you leave your based and beta comments down below. Now let's take a look at today's market update. I consider this kind of a emergency video to kind of turn on our thinking caps here and pay attention to price movements. So we're going to look at TCG Player and eBay prices to do a little bit of a comparison. But as of today, on TCG Player, we have had Evolving Skies boxes sell for $2,750. Yesterday, $2,600. This box has been sitting around $2,300 to $2,500 for some time, and if you take a look here on the volume chart, we're having a little uptick in volume, and the price is starting to work its way up. Now, here's the crazy thing. So, Probstein, which is a very popular consignment eBay website, just sold one of these yesterday for $3,150. Another one sold for $2,975. So, my question is this genuine price movement, or is this potential price manipulation to get this product to move? Because if we also scroll up here, there's one, oh, this is just a half booster box, that's why. So there was a sale at $2,651 on Probstein as well. So this box is starting to pick up some movement. Evolving Skies is the king of Sword and Shield, and as soon as Evolving Skies starts to move, that's when other boxes that are popular from the Sword and Shield era start to notice and move as well. So Fusion Strike here, we got up to around, let me zoom out to the September highs here. So back in September, we got to about $1,000. We dropped down to as low as like $850, maybe even some sales at around $800. And then we just slingshotted back up to these resistance levels here. And I've been chopping between $1,000 and $900 for quite some time. Not too much excitement going on. If we look at most recent sales on TCG Player, we have one for $985, $985, $985, $990. So that's kind of on course for what we would expect for Fusion Strike. However, on eBay, we had a sale yesterday for nearly $1,200 on Probstein. We had another sale at $954, another at $1,050. So Fusion Strike is picking up some steam here along with Evolving Skies, and it looks like that we are finally awakening from our slumber of the slow gains of Fusion Strike compared to what else has been printed, like Scarlet and Violet and Mega Evolutions. So I'm a firm believer that if these boxes continue to climb, that we're going to see it cascade into other Sword and Shield products. So if you are positioned in Sword and Shield and you've been waiting for opportunities to potentially take profits, now's our time to signal the sirens and pay attention to what's going on. We may see a big increase in prices of Fusion Strike and Evolving Skies here, and there might be a big liquidity jump. A lot of more people selling or buying, and that's going to be our opportunity down the line here to collect some potential profits. Brilliant Stars kind of leading the pack when it comes to Sword and Shield on the boxes that aren't as popular like Evolving Skies and Fusion Strike. Let's look at most recent sales. We got 609, 600, 600, 600, 594. And if we hop over to eBay, we are also getting sales around that $600 mark. So let's hop back to the TCG charts here. We want to zoom back to that September run up. So back in September, this actually dropped a bit, got down to around $400 a box. And then we have now, I believe we're at all-time highs. Yeah, we are. $600 a box. Brilliant Stars, I believe, is one of the best sets in Sword and Shield. And I have no doubt that something like this could potentially outpace some of the other boxes that we're going to be talking about in this video. So at $600 a box now, we are at all-time highs. There isn't any crazy volume happening here on the TCG Player website, but if Fusion Strike and Evolving Skies continue to tear, then there could be a possibility where Brilliant Stars also tears, and we could be looking at a $700 box here in the not too distant future. Next up here is Chilling Reign. So Chilling Reign is telling a lot different of a story compared to the rest in Sword and Shield. So back a couple of months ago, we were almost $600 a box. Then there was a huge fall off down to around $500 a box, where there was a huge volume spike of 58 that were bought up. And then we've just been kind of chopping sideways back and forth on these prices for about a month or so. Now, Chilling Reign does have one of the top 10 most valuable cards in Sword and Shield, being the Blaziken VMAX alternate art. And you know, a lot of people out there aren't really a big fan of Chilling Reign, also known as Chilling Pain. And I do believe, I'm going to start sounding very repetitive here, but as Evolving Skies and Fusion Strike start to tick upwards, I do believe these other sets are going to be catching tailwinds. You know, I don't really want to be putting any money into Chilling Reign right now, but if you wanted to, I think now is an excellent opportunity to do so, especially if these products start tearing. So we've kind of created a resistance level here, potential drop down area where we could, the downside risk potential, we could find the support levels again down around the $400 mark. So there is some downside risk and not a lot of volume going on right now. But I have a feeling that the tick up in Evolving Skies surpassing $3,000 is going to turn some heads back towards Sword and Shield, especially with us having Perfect Order out right now and then still waiting for Chaos Rising towards the end of the month. I think investors and collectors are getting a little bored and they're looking back in time to see what is undervalued. And we're not seeing too many different prices on eBay. One sold yesterday for about $490, which is about where we're at on TCG Player. Let's check the prices real quick. We're at $470, $472, $480, $479. And let me briefly mention that if you are going to get any of these older booster boxes, just get them from eBay. You get pictures, unless on TCG Player they upload pictures, but having pictures and finding a good minty box is going to make your life a lot easier when you are trying to find liquidity as you sell out of products like these. And then the last box that I want to talk about today is going to be the Lost Origin booster box. So this one also kind of lagging like Chilling Reign. If we zoom out back to that September run up, we're around $780 to $800 a box roughly. Then we drop down here to as low as $600 a box, where there was a huge volume, of purchases that happened here between $600 and $700. And we've been slowly working our way up and kind of leveling out here around the $710 to $730 mark. If we look at most recent sales, we're at $724, $724, $718, $720, and $720. So Lost Origins, similar sort of deal here as Chilling Reign. Nothing too exciting going on, but if Evolving Skies and Fusion Strike continue to pick up the pace, I have absolutely no doubt that Lost Origins, Brilliant Stars, and Chilling Reign are going to follow suit. But Brilliant Stars, in my opinion, is probably going to be well ahead of Chilling Reign and Lost Origins, and I do believe that Brilliant Stars will flip Lost Origins at some point. We will just have to see as time goes on, but this is definitely an interesting time, and I want you guys to be paying attention to Sword and Shield, and especially Evolving Skies and Fusion Strike box prices to predict a potential run-up in all Sword and Shield products. If you want to stay in touch on undervalued products up there and market updates and price shifts, make sure you leave a subscribe, as I try to upload daily on investing tips as well as market analysis. Thanks for watching today's video, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Oh, yo.